How long you think it was gonna take before we got here? Now you gotta prove yourself all over again. Come on.
Ain't nobody coming, I've been gunning from 100 yards, trying to hit my mark, missing every time. This will be the start of the picture perfect. Watch you.
Hello, Mr. Terry. Welcome to Terrific Terry Trifecta Tuesday.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
A lot of T's there.
There
A
are.
big alliteration of T's to get us cracking on this. Another wet day at Bensalem, Pennsylvania, where the track is still sloppy, Terry.
That's right. And they did a lot of scratches, that's for sure.
Yeah, but this time around, I think they weren't as late as they were yesterday, so we're able to come to the table on time today.
Yeah, they were pretty early, except for one.
Mm-hmm. Last night, we were on time. I don't know about you, Terry, but I did not know. And if you haven't known and you don't know and you want to know, and I think you should, learn all about how they do turf and the dirt and manage the track. Harrison Young, who is the director of the superintendent of track conditions, I guess. He was on our show last night, and I didn't know there was so much to know about like grass and roots and bounce and length and how far apart your wheels had to be on your lawnmower and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he was very informative, so I learned quite a bit. So
if you want to know how to make your lawn better, at the very minimum, but you also want to kind of understand what's going on at the track and what they're looking for. I mean, very informative show, probably something you won't find anywhere else. And you can get that on Horse Racing Today. Yeah, yesterday was indeed crazy, scary. Let's see if today can be just as crazy. But if you go to Horse Racing Radar TV, hit the subscribe button where you are. You got to hit the bell so when we go live, you get to hear from people like Harrison Young. And tonight, I will be back on with Julie at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll have on Kelton Brown. This is literally, this guy is the jack of all trades. He's a trainer. He does rodeo. He does riding. I mean, does everything from horse racing. So if you have any horse questions whatsoever at all, got a feeling Kelton Brown's going to have a horse answer for you. Something that could be very useful, I guess, in terms of just your general horseman knowledge. Julie called him a cowboy last night.
Yeah, she did. It's looking forward to seeing him. So
yesterday, the late Parx pick 5 paid like $290,000. What a crazy about that use could have played all for something like $3,300. Think about that.
Actually, $29,000.
29,000 was the 29. Yeah, all
yeah. And if you went all the way through, it would have cost you $3,300 to get the 29,000.
JT Bruce said that good afternoon. Hey, Mamadou, race 8 salvaged my day. Scary, you bring up the pick 5 yesterday. Looking at Equibase, it looks like for today there's a pretty sizable early pick 5 as well. $528,000 rollover today, Terry. Mm-hmm. So I did something I don't think you've ever seen me do.
I've never seen it. And I was like waiting for more. And then I said, well, wait a minute. And I started figuring out how much it was. I said, he used his whole budget up almost in that first race. So
yeah, so all but $4. So I figured I went $2 over yesterday. I'll go $4 under today, and it evens out for me.
It does.
$1 ahead, so to speak.
I went 50 cents over today.
Oh, now that can't happen. All right, Mr. Terry.
You can go $2 over, but I can't go 50 cents.
No, I'm one of those do as I say, not as I do types, Terry. All right. So race number 1 is a maiden claiming 10,000. Purse of 20 grand at 1 mile. Profile of a winner does favor early speed, 41%. So a big number going wire to wire. There is an inside to outside bias with the post positions. So we our full picks, Terry, get a little bit ahead of myself. We do our simulations to see who has a good shot to get on the lead. That's right here, 1,000 simulations based upon early speed. We also use speed figures to determine what fair odds might look like for this race relative to morning line odds, which are over here. You're looking for this number over here to be a little bit lower than that number. Should provide you some value. And over here, C-Zone, something you can't find anywhere else on God's green earth, just here. And
that's right.
The higher the C-Zone score, the more likely it is the horse is going to get a race pace that makes it feel comfortable, Terry. So based upon early speed, looking at lightning, should be lightning out of a bottle or at least out of a gate.
Yeah, I think so. And I think if the speed holds up today, like sort of did yesterday, it would have been pretty it'll do pretty well. He does have a couple other horses that might have something to say about that. That's the 1 and the 2. As far as the overlays go, the 3 has a nice overlay. It's supposed to be like 6-5, and it's 4-1 on the morning line. The 4 is another nice overlay. He's almost 7-1 on the simulated odds, and he's listed at 15-1 on the morning line. And then the 5 is about 8-5, listed at 2-1, so small. And then the C zones, the 6 has a really good C zone number, and then the 1 comes in second with the 5 third.
We also look at what the race shape might look like if you're new around here. So to get a sense of how horses want to run when they win. And obviously, this is a maiden special weight, a maiden claiming, so nobody's won yet. But it does look like the 6 horse would prefer to be on the lead. So lone E-type, pilot, if you will. The EPs, they can pilot or co-pilot. The Ps are co-pilots, don't typically like to be on the lead. They'd rather sit back, ride shotgun, and see if they can run by late. PCs should really probably get a V for versatile. They can ride in the cockpit. They can ride in first class. They can ride in coach. The Seahorses are closers. They're always in coach, trying to come from the back row to use the washrooms up in first class or sneak up in the front row seats there. The NC types, they've not been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line in as many as their last 10 races, what Brisnet will provide. And then the first-time starters, obviously, are horses that are going to go out there for the first time today. As far as the early speed is concerned, that 6 wants to be on the lead, and it and the 5 will probably duke it out for the early lead. Between the 2, Terry, it does look like the 6 horse has a little bit more late speed, so that might be the speed of the speed that can hold. Although Charlie's Choo Choo, that one will be coming pretty hard at the end. And then finally, our total pace numbers look like the 6 horse has a 10-point advantage over the 1 horse, Only Girl. And as I've said before, and I'll say it again, if you have a 10-point advantage, it's a horse that might not win, but certainly one that should be very competitive for the W. I think it's going to win. You're going to put your stake on the 5.
That's right. I like looking in the Lightning, and she drops in class today, and she switches to high percentage winning trainer and has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 6, Little Doyle, your top pick, drops in class today, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. The 3, La Prairie, is another one that drops in class today. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey as well. And Only Girl, the 1, drops in class today. The Rail Post is winning 20% clip for best dirt speed as fast as among today's starters. She's my long shot. I'm going to play $1 daily double. I'm going to use the 5-6 with the 5-7.
Well, I'm going to start off with the 6 horse in here, Mr. Terry, as my top choice. And that one is Little Doyle. Has that strong total pace edge. It is also the biggest class dropper in this field, making its 3rd start after a layoff. And if you look at the last race's fractions, ran about 1.5 seconds quicker. A lot of things that I like to see. Looking at Lightning, did run the top last race speed figure, taking a small drop in class. And the only other time the horse made it 2 races in a row, did improve second up. Also, good shot to be up on the lead, as we see from the simulator. The 3 horse, Lipari. I'm looking for reasons to put a horse here. And Lipari does get the sim odds as well in here as the sim odd race favorite. Also taking a small drop in class. Second up, so it could improve. And then going to flip from turf to dirt, although I don't think the trainers hit than that in a limited number of tries. And then finally, the 1 horse, Only Girl, my last pick as well, Terry. Best combination of early speed and C-zone in the race, and does ride that 20% winning rail. As we alluded to, I did something I'm not going to do very often. I'm going to go for it, Terry. I'm stepping up. I'm putting the ball on the tee, breaking out the big bat, and I'm going for the pick 5 with all of my budget. 5-6 in the first leg, 2-5-7 in race number 2. Race 3, the 2, the 4. Race 4, 1-2-4-7. And then race number 5, 1-4-7-8. Certainly hoping I'm alive when we get to that 5th race. I know JT's hoping he'll be alive too, because here's his pick 5, Terry.
Yeah, he's got the 3-5 in the first leg, 2-7. And then the 3rd leg, the 1-2-4. 4th leg, the 1-2-4. And the 5th leg, he likes the 8-12.
So Charles says he likes the late pace and the slop that get no kickback early. And the 1 fits that profile, Only Girl. So maybe Only Girl can get that job done there. Only Girl does have, as I mentioned, I think it's going to be closer to the pace, though, Charles, up in here today with that probably running third or fourth, and all those, you might have to have a little bit of a gap in there not to get the kickback in its face. Well, we have 1 minute, Terry, to race number 2.
Okay.
You think we got time? Let me look and see what they're doing on the screen here real quick. No, we don't have any time.
Okay.
So because the 1 and the 2 are in, track is definitely sloppy. Looks as bad as yesterday. Charlie Choo Choo heading into the gates right now. And then we got the 5 and the 6 to load. The 5 horse is your favorite. Looking at Lightning, Terry's top pick. 9 to 5. That 3 horse in there, a Lipari. Yeah. The sim favorite is the second choice, the 2 to 1. Certainly hope that one doesn't finish first. Kill my day right from the get-go.
Yeah.
I got to make it at least to the second race, Terry.
Oh, yeah. I hope you do.
And they're off. And wow, pretty good race wide. The 5 horse does look like it's going to clear. The 6 horse managed to clear too. So those 2 are out in front in the opener here. The question is, are they going a little bit too fast? The 6 horse, Little Doyle on the class drop, has made its way to the front, followed by the favorite Looking at Lightning. The 3 horses, the 3 favorites, Lipari lineup 1, 2, and 3. Charles is 1 horse, only girl riding the rail, and 4th to its outside. Looks to me like it is the because the 2 horses all the way in the back, so that's got to leave the 4. Is that who's in there? Charlie's Choo Choo.
Mm-hmm.
And now they went through the opening quarter in 24-1 as they run down the backside in the slop. That Madison County, that's can't be. Is that Madison County? No, that's the 4 horse. Charlie's Choo Choo. Yes, he's definitely the caboose right now. Opening half in 48 seconds, so 24 and 24 could be setting up for the 3 horse unless speed does hold up today. The 5 and the 6 are battling it out. The 5 horse is edged in front of the 6 horse as they come through the turn there. 2 of them still have a pretty good lead. The rest of the field is trying to stretch out a little bit. Looks to me like the 4 horse is going to make a run. The 1 horse is definitely not getting any kickback because he's way back there. His race is done. They go through 6 furlongs in 1:13 and 3. Right now, this race looks like it belongs to the 5 horse, although you do have the 2 horse making up some ground. The 3 is trying to go wide. I don't know that he's going to be able to get to the winner. Might get second place, although they do look like they're kind of running in place right now. Only 1 on the rail. Tough to see who that is trying to make up ground, but it looks to me like it's going to go 5, 6, 4, 3. 5, 6, 4, 3, Terry. That's your opener. Looking at Lightning, and then Little Doyle. So I do advance, Mr. Terry, into round 2 of this big pick 5, but it is the favorite that brings home the first piece of bacon there. I would have been happier with the 6 horse, but I'll take what it is.
Yeah, me too for my double. So,
you know what they say in the NCAA tournament, right?
No, what do they say?
Survive and advance. So that's the way I'm looking at my pick 5. Survive and advance. If I can advance all the way to the last leg and have a shot, I'll be grateful.
Oh, yeah.
All right, first race right here. The 5 horse, indeed, Boom JT Brew coming home. It went 5, 6. So to answer your question, Lex Miskanath K's, it went 5, 6, 4, and then I think the 3 horse 5, 6, 4, 3 was the opening. Is that right, Terry?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, well, let's see if we can get race number 2 correct, Terry. That's our next on our agenda to survive and advance. In the second race, they're going to run a mile and a 16th, $7,500, non-winners of 3 lifetime. The purse is a $22,000 purse. Profile of a mile and a 16th winner. Tactical speed, although 3 out of 10 do go wire to wire. Post position, we see a inside 3 bias, 4 through 7. Gets dinged, 8 and out. You get a sizable bonus, Mr. Terry. In race number 2, there aren't 8 horses. There are only 6, so we don't get that 8 and out bonus. But we do maybe get a little bit of inside speed with IYIYI. I don't know.
Yeah, look at that horse. Wow, got the really lot of speed. Should get to that to quarter pole first unless something really bad happens. And then the 4 has a fairly decent overlay. It's almost listed at like what's that? 5.5 to 1. So at simulated odds listed 8 to 1 on the morning line. That 7 is just a small overlay. It's listed at 7 to 2. And the simulated odds on 5 to 1 on the morning line. And then the 7 and the 2 have the best C-zones, especially the 7 Cinnamon Dream.
Cinnamon Dream, yeah, stand out from a C-zone standpoint for sure. As far as the race shape is concerned, the 3-horse, I, or I, maybe that's what it is, I, does have the early speed. It is a lone E-horse. Speed did kind of hold up there, although it was the co-pilot, not the pilot, that won the race. I do expect that the 3-horse will likely be the pilot in here. Advocate Harbor, the 5-horse, which gets the NC, hasn't been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line, although it does show it has a little bit more late kick than the 3-horse does. So maybe that never close designation changes today. If you like horses that come from off the pace, Cinnamon Dream and Miss Kilo, those two have a lot of early, late run. Although with the exception of a bit bad in Boji and I, they're all pretty much the same. Looks like a pretty competitive race to me, Terry, especially from a total pace standpoint. Although Advocate Harbor, the 5-horse, does grade out 6 points better than the next closest horse. And I got to tell you, Mr. Terry, a sad story about my pick 4 in just a moment.
All right.
No, I picked 5, excuse me.
Okay. Well, I like that 7 Cinnamon Dream as my top pick. She finishes 3rd versus similar in her last race, switches to a high percentage winning jockey. The 5 Advocate Harbor is my second pick. She also finished 3rd in her last race, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starter. That 7 Miss Quillo, she drops in class today, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. And then number 6, a bit bad, and Boujay. She likes the track finishing the money 44% of the starts and likes the distance where she's been in money 69% of the starts. She has a high percentage winning jockey. She's my long shot. And then I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 5-7 with the 1-2-4 with the 1-2-7 with the 7-8-11. And look here, JT Brew loves that number 2, wants to bet 50 win in place on that horse.
Says he's been waiting for her to run in a spot like this. Yes, indeed. So he's got that one circled in his horses to watch on that service. So my little story here, Advocate. So when I was doing my pick 4, I had to take a horse out, Terry. And if you've been watching the show with Charles and I, whenever I move a horse around, you know what always happens. That one wins.
That's right. So you took the 2 out.
I took the 5 out. Advocate
Harbor.
Harbor.
The 5.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So if you go back here, you see on my pick 5, I had the 2, 5, and what? 2. It's supposed to be 2, 3, and 7, folks. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and change that back. I probably should leave it as is, but
you probably should.
I probably should, but I'm going to leave it at 2, 3, and 7. And I can I change it now? I mean, the race is already done, right? So I can't change it.
Yeah.
2, 5, and boy, now we know the 3 horse is going to win, Terry. All right. Well, you can't change it post race facto. So let's go ahead with my picks for race number 2.
Yeah.
Even though I don't have the 3 in there in my second pick, and I know I'm going to regret that now. In any case, Cinnamon Dream does get my top choice in here. Better by more than 3 seconds in its last race. It did run the top last race speed figure, and it's fared well at the distance. 11 times out, 2 wins, 3 seconds, 3/3. I is probably what I'm going to be saying when this race is over for not putting the 3 in there and having the 5 instead. But hey, I'm a man of integrity. I'm going to take a flyer here. This one should be on the lead. And a couple of times the horse was on the lead. It went wire to wire. This is the right distance. 3 times, 2 wins. You put it at any other distance than 1 mile and a 16th. The horse has run 6 times and hasn't have anything but a second to show for it. Miss Kilo. Oh, JT, I hope you're right with Miss Kilo because it did make my picks. The 3 didn't. It got knocked out of there. This one's taking a very aggressive drop in class, making the classic 3rd start after a layoff. And the one I do have now that I didn't think I had that I do have now is the 5 horse Advocate Harbor with that strong 6-point early pace, late pace, total pace advantage. I don't have any bets because I'm all out of money and crossing my fingers that the 3 doesn't completely screw me up.
All right.
Well, Terry, you can call JP Morgan, Citibank, whoever it is that you do your banking with. Take out a mortgage, put it all on that 3 horse because it's going wire to wire now. There's just no question about that. I'm 5 for 5 on that with Charles, right?
Yeah, I do. You were talking about that the other day. So
yeah, I changed my pick with Charles 5 times, and the horse that I picked 5 times in a row that I changed 1. Try to find an angle that's 5 for 5. That's pretty hard to do. All right, race. So I have the perfect fade in that respect. Race 3, they're going to run a mile again, claiming 25,000. The purse is 28 grand. 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. I don't understand why they do that. Why not just do 3-year-old and up? Why do you have to put or 4-year-old and up? It's all the same. In any case, 41%, as we mentioned, go wire to wire. We saw in the opener that the front 2 stayed 1-2 for the most part around the track. And then you do have that inside-outside bias as well. So maybe the horses on the inside, if they can get to the front, should have a little bit of an advantage. In race number 3, the 4-horse, it looks like it's got all the speed. It's not going to be on the inside, but it didn't stop the 5 and the 6 from getting up front last race.
That's right. The 4 does show a lot of speed, but look at that 1 now. You just never know with that benefit of that rail. Might just outbreak that 4 and get to that quarter pole first. As far as overlays, the only one I really see is the 2. It's just under even money, like 4 to 5, and it's listed at 2 to 1 on the morning line. All of them have fairly decent C zones, especially the 4 has the best if you look at there.
It adds up to probably about as much as everybody else in there.
Yeah, the 3 doesn't have any at all. So
if you like what you're seeing today, folks, big thumbs up for us on Facebook and YouTube. We'd appreciate that. Helps us with the algorithms. Again, only 1 out of 10 people hit that subscribe button. Don't be a 90%er, be a 10%er. Don't you want to be in the upper 10% income earners, right? Be a 10%er.
That's right.
In the 3rd race, our race shape, balanced race shape, Terry. We got the 1 and the 6 on the front, the 2 and the 3 in the back, the 4 in the middle. Reminds me of that Sesame Street thing, as I said here. One thing here doesn't look like the other. The 4-horse not looking like the 1, the 2, the 3, or the 6. Sometimes those lone P horses can get nice trips in there. And we saw that in the C-zone score there. Looking at the early speed, you do have the 1 and the 6. They're likely to get to the front. The 4 should be in a pressure position exactly where it wants to be. The 2-horse does have the most late speed along with the 3. So every horse in here should be exactly on the track where they want to be. The total pace figure goes to the 2-horse. The goose is loose, although with the exception of Rex Kwando, and even that one's not that far off. It's a pretty tight fit for all of the above. This looks like a race that could be a weak spot for me because any of them could really win.
That's right. I like that closer. Loose Goose, the 2, ran 4th in his last race. Was only beaten 1 length. His best start speed was fastest among today's starters. He's trained by Jamie Ness, and he's ridden by Ruben Silveira. And then 4 Pine Valley is my second choice. He finished 3rd in his last race. Has the highest last speed rating. He's actually tied with another horse and has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Alta Fox, the 1, can improve at the shorter distance, and the rail post is winning 20% clip. He's my 3rd choice. And then number 3, Fictional Fairy Tale. Fictional Fairy Tale. He switches to high percentage winning jockey. I don't have a bet in this race.
So Charles says he likes the 4-horse in race number 3. I like Pine Valley 2 in here. I think that strong C-zone early speed, we've seen that combination hit. If the speed can hang in there, it could be solid in here. Scary Creations thinks the 6 is going to be the one that gets to the front. Does have an 8% chance. So either the 1, the 4, the 6 are the ones that are likely to get up front there. Not so sure for Scary that he thinks he'll stay up there until the finish line. I agree with Charles. I agree with Terry. I would go with the 4-horse in here. Pine Valley does have that real strong combination, as I mentioned, of early speed C-zone. Last time out, the horse showed better through the first half mile. Again, if you watch our Horse Center show, we had on Craig Milkowski from Timeform US, and he had mentioned from their research, horses that show faster or higher 2 and 4 furlong pace numbers tend to fare well the next race out. Loose Goose, your top pick, and the closer in there, Terry. Ruben Silveira, Jamie Ness, the dynamic duo of Bensalem, Pennsylvania, making the 3rd start after a layoff. This one's going to be closing after being beaten as the favorite last out. And for a high percentage trainer like Jamie Ness, it still delivers alpha. 29% winner coming back out with the beaten favorite versus about 22, 23% overall. Alta Fox, the 1-horse. That one has some early juice in here. Terry drops to a level where the last time he tried it, finished 3rd, but did kind of tail off a little bit at the end. Rex Kwando, the one that Scary Creations thinks could be up on the front there, did show some major improvement in the second start after a layoff, and then considerable late race gains in its last. So Scary, if you're right, and the 6-horse Rex Kwando gets to the front, last time out showed some more endurance, might connect A and B, and prove that the length is not too much. I don't have any bets because I spent all my money in race number 1, Terry.
That's right.
Hopefully I get to race number 5 and I have some left, right?
Yep.
Some money because I have one that picked 5. Race 4 is next on our agenda today. It is going to be a mile again, maiden claiming 25 grand for the purse of 28,000. We talked about 1 mile 3 times already. Early speed, 41% go wire to wire. Inside outside bias, Terry. In our speed simulations say that this race, with the exception of maybe the rail and the outside horse, everybody else has some chance to be your leader.
Yeah, that's true. But that 7 has the most speed, as you can see, followed up by the 3. The 1 has a fairly nice overlay. It's supposed to be about 7-5, and it's listed at 4-1 on morning line. The 2 has a nice overlay as well. It's just under 2-1 simulated odds, and listed at 5-1 on morning line. And the 2 has the best C-zone. The rest of them don't really have great C-zone numbers.
Yes. And then as far as the great race shape debate, the 3 horse, the Ballsy Lady, that one's not been within 5 lengths of the leader. And looking at that bright red total pace figure, that status might not change today. Otherwise, the 2 and the 7 are going to be forwardly placed relative to the closers, the 1, 4, 6, and 8. So get up to the front, run some modest fractions. You might have a chance to do that. Copa Blanco, look at that 7 horse, Terry. 13-point advantage over everybody else.
That's a lot.
Now, that one could pretty much jog out of the gates and probably still have the lead in there. Everybody else is kind of tightly packed up in there. So they should all be tailing around to see battling out for who wants to be second. Late speed, 7-point advantage for Mamma Mia Esterina. That one should have a pretty much a lot of giddy up and go, but it's going to be at the back of the pack. So hopefully it's far enough back. It's not getting kick up, Charles. And maybe the 1 horse gets it done in that race. Your total pace combination does belong to the 7 Copa Blanco with that big early speed advantage. I think fractions are going to be everything for Copa Blanca. If it can run reasonable fractions, maybe a length ahead of everybody else at the quarter-mile marker instead of trying to stretch it out. Could go wire to wire, Terry, though we both think the 1 horse is going to be the one that's there when they hit the finish line.
That's right. I like that 1 horse, Mamma Mia Esterina. She has finished in the money in both of her career races, and she finished 3rd in her last race. That rail post is winning 20% clip. Second choice, Copa Blanco. Number 7, she has the highest last speed rating, should improve while returning to the dirt. And she has a trainer who wins 25% of the races in the first route he enters a horse in. And the longer the distance may be a plus for this horse. Number 2, Tempest Rising. It's my 3rd pick. Finished in the money in 2 of her last 4 races. Finishing 4th in her last after stumbling at the start. So she has a little bit of an excuse. My long shot is the 4, Bruno Barber Girl. She switches to high percentage winning jockey. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a really good trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days has finished in the money in 3 out of 3 starts, and they've won 2 of those. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to play the 1, 2, 7 with the 5, with the 7, 8, 11, with the 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to single the 8 in the 7th.
Going 5, 6, 7, 8 to close it out there, right? Christopher D'Souza today likes the 2 to win in race number 4 with the 2-1 exacta box. Wants to know, how did he do yesterday? How did you do it yesterday, Christopher? I honestly, when I hang up from here, it's right back into the cycle of going through, getting ready. I have to do a lot of handicapping for Guaranteed Tip Sheet. And then afterwards, get prepared for the show with Julie. And then after that, get started getting prepped for today. So I didn't have a chance to look it over, Terry. Did you by chance look it over?
No, I was too busy with grandkids yesterday.
Being grandpa, that's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
I am not there yet, and it could take a while as far as I'm concerned. Number 1, Mamma Mia Esterina, most likely raced horse in the field, Terry. Could have the most untapped potential. Does look like the sim odds say that's opportunity there, but the C zone and the lead zone might say it could be a difficult task. Copa Blanco does have that aggressive early race edge in a field that wants to close or so far hasn't been within 5 lengths of the leader. Just run reasonable fractions and you might be tough to beat. Bruno Barber Girl, the 4 horse, is going to switch to Paco Lopez today. That should help. And at times, the 4 horse shows some brilliant late speed. So Paco pushes this horse a little bit more forward than usual. Maybe he can use those late legs to score. And then finally, along with Christopher D'Souza, the 2-horse in here. Tempest Rising, strong overlay. We have the 5-1 morning line odds, 2-1 overlay with the strongest T-zone score in there by a pretty wide shot. I think all of them added up times about 4. Still wouldn't add up to what the Tempest Rising produced. And again, I don't have any bets here, but I do have all 4 of these if I get to this leg in my pick 5.
That's right.
Hoping to be the case. In race 5, the one that I'm hoping to make it to alive, Terry, supposed to be 1 mile and 70 yards on the turf course. Well, with the wet conditions, there are no turf races today, so it's on the dirt. At 1 mile and 70 yards on the dirt course, you're looking at early speed again. What else at Parx? 29% of the time, the horses do go from gate to wire on the lead and never give it up. You do get a rail bonus for here, so it was the devil's idea. Could get a little bit of an edge in there. 2 through 7 play fair. 8 and out in this case get penalized, Terry. With all the scratches, how many horses do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we don't get to that penalty. 8 are out. So minus the rail, everything else plays kind of fair. What do you see from all the data?
Yeah, most of these have speed, especially the 8, 7, 11. I mean 8, 7, and 12, I must say. And then the 7 has the only overlay that I see. It's supposed to be even money, and it's listed at 5-1 on the morning line. As far as C-zones, the 4 has a really nice C-zone along with the 7.
Yeah, everybody, a lot of nice green colors there. So
yeah, there are.
Should be a race where everybody's kind of where they want to be. Looking at where they want to be according to their past, this one here shouldn't be there. That should be Adios, because it's not there. It's just a ghost rider. So the jockey fell off that horse, I guess.
Yeah.
Or didn't get on him in the gate. The 4-horse wants to be your leader. The 7-horse in there, Exit Right, EP type in there. You got a lone PC type in there too. These lone horses always kind of scare me because if the 4 gets to the front, Terry, could be tough to run down, although it doesn't look like that's going to be the case today. The pressure horses, the 12, the 7, the EP type, the PC type, they're all going to push on and perhaps be in front of the 4-horse, which could discourage the 4. So to come around the stretch, run through the slop, to come home, Supreme Being with a 9-point advantage. So if that one could be close up, could upset this field a little bit, Terry. And according to the total pace numbers, this is a very competitive race between all of them, really. Exit Right does score out the highest, a little bit better than Saddle Nui and a little bit better than People Force, Terry. Again, another race where I feel like anything can go. Hopefully it goes my way, and I'm still alive in the pick 5. What's your way?
I like the number 8, People Force is my first pick. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 27% of the races when shipping a horse into race. And he switches to a high percentage winning jockey. Exit Right, the 7 is my second choice. He ran second versus similar and on the dirt in his last race, has a high speed figure at today's distance, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 11, Sal and Louis. He came in from Golden Gate Fields and ran his first
Oh, then
race.
he's going to bomb. He's from Golden Gate Fields. You can forget that horse.
Well, he ran his first race at Parx and ran second. And he only lost by half a length, and he was really wide getting into the stretch. So he had a real big excuse there. So number 4, Notable Exception, is my long shot. He ran second versus similar on the dirt in the last race. Has a high percentage winning jockey, and I'm not going to make a bet in this race. So
Scary Creations putting some information out for us. Paco riding the 9, Supreme Being. And also, he says the last time out, Royal Party, your 8-horse in there, Terry. Best race by far was in the mud, so keep an eye on that. In race number 5, looks like Christopher D'Souza is going to back that Paco-ridden horse in there with the strong late pace in there, 9, 4, 12, trifecta box in race number 5. And, man, I hope you're wrong because I don't have any of those horses. I got the 4. So the 4-horse wins. That's fine by me in my pick 5 in there. Let's see. Scary Creations, Royal Artie was race number 4. All right. Royal Party was race number 4. All right. So going back a race, Royal Party, the 8-horse, by far best race in the mud. All right. We got that squared away. Thank you, Scary, for getting that squared away. For me in race number 5, I got the 7-horse as my top choice in there. Exit Right. I'm a little bit concerned about the big lead that he gave up in his last race. Doesn't concern me as much because he does have a fast workout in between, so maybe going to be sharper today. Really solid on the off track. 7 times out, 3 wins in a couple of seconds. People Force, your top pick, Terry. Track Dropper from Gulfstream Park, then went to Monmouth, from Monmouth to Parx today. Does have some early speed, and Kendrick was riding him. I don't know if he didn't come in today or not, but if he does, I love Kendrick on lone speed. That's a great combo in my view. And he even admits it. So number 4, notable exception, the 4-horse, sizable drop in class, second up off a layoff, should be as good as the first one. Does have a decent workout in between race number 1 at Parx to race number 2 at Parx, because the horse is coming in from Churchill Downs to make his second start here. It was the devil's idea, Terry. Drops in class to a level where he was very competitive. If you like an off-track horse, ran 6 times, no wins, 3 seconds and 2/3. So maybe the O in the dirt that's wet will go. Again, no bets for me, my man.
All right.
All out of money. Do we have time for race number?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so we're off to race number 6. We'll race through race number 6 so we can talk about what happens to race number 2. 6 furlongs, maiden claiming $40,000, Terry. 6 furlongs, again, favors early speed. About 37% of the horses go wire to wire. Post positions 1 through 7, they're fair. 8 and out, get a little bit of bonus. So you probably want some outside speed in race number 6 if you can catch some, and maybe that's Midnight Cat.
Yeah, it could be, but the 3, 7, and 5 do show the most speed in here. And then the 3 is a really large overlay. It's supposed to be under even money. It's listed 15-1 on the morning line, and the 8 is listed almost 10-1 in the simulated odds, and he's 15-1 on the morning line. The 5 has a really good C zone, and nobody else has much.
No, the 5 is the only one that looks like it should be comfortable in this spot.
Yeah.
Will it be comfortable in the race shape in here? 3 and the 5 want to be on the front. The 6 is a closer. The 2 is going to give its first shot today, so you don't know what lots of luck is going to bring. We do know that the 4, the 7, the 9 so far, they haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader when the race is over, so early speed could play here since everybody is kind of towards the back there. Nicky DeFox and Private Cabana, the 2 front horses, they're going to be on the lead, although it does look like Nicky DeFox, the most early pace, should be your one that sets the tone. Everybody else is pretty tightly behind there except American Lad. Could be lagging the field. Maybe they should change it from American Lad to American Lag. As far as late speed is concerned, Nicky DeFox grades out with the top late speed too. Can't pass what you can't catch, Terry. Not surprisingly, a 9-point total pace advantage. So the 3, the 7, the 6, the 4, that quartet has a good scoring advantage over everybody else from a total pace standpoint. Probably going to find your winner in those 4, Terry. What do you say?
I like the 6, Marvelous Moon Dance. Drops in class today, and his best start speed's fastest among today's starters. Number 7, Midnight Cats, my second choice, finished 5th in his debut race after having some problems during the race, and is trained by Jamie Ness and ridden by Ruben Silveira. Number 5 is my third pick, Private Cabana. He has a jockey who in the last 7 days has won 3 out of 5 starts. And then my long shot is number 9, American Lad. Had trouble at the break in his last race and did not finish well, but he has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 5. I'm going to use the 5, 6, 7. I'm going to single the 8. Then I'm going to go with the 1, 3, 5. Then with the 8, 16, and finish up with the 1, 5, 8.
Real quick, as they're loading for race number 2. In race number 6, Midnight Cat, Ness, 35% on the drop from maiden special weight to maiden claiming. Well bet at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Decent Parx work. Marvelous Moon Dance, a 6 horse. Another maiden special weight dropper, but it's had 25 times to win. Off track might be the best chance for that O to go. 6 times out, 3 seconds and 2/3. Nicky DeFox. This one has to have a shot. +9 total pace at edge and going to be out front. Finally, Private Cabana, the 5 horse. Should be a part of the early race and the only one in here that has a solid C-zone score. Terry, no bets for me. Race number 2, getting ready to run. Here are our picks, and I'm definitely afraid of that 3 horse beating me, Terry, because it is out on the lead as we projected in a 1.16 mile race. I hope those, and he's 5-2 now, Terry. I hope those fractions are blazing. Come on, push him.
Yeah.
Push that IYIY horse. Yeah, it's
yeah.
pulling away a little bit, Terry. You know what's going to happen. I told you could back that horse up and go to your mortgage broker and take out all your equity and bank on that one winning. Opening quarter in 1.16 in the slop, though, for a claiming 7,500 to 24. I'm going to guess that's a little too fast, Terry. Let's see if he can slow it down, though, for the second half mile, as you're starting to see the 7 horse, along with the 4 horse in there, Delightful Dreamer, and the 2 horse, Miss Willow, closing that gap a little bit on the 3 horse. They did run a 48, so he did not slow down at all. 4 horses starting to tail off now. It looks like it's between the 7 and the 2 if they're going to run down that 3, who looks like he's picking up the pace again, spreading out, Terry. He's going to win this race, it looks like to me. It's about 6-7 lengths in front of everybody else. The only hope is the 5 horse to run him down, Terry. The one that I was going to throw out that I end up keeping in. Can he come get him? What an irony that would be, Terry. But I don't think he's going to make it happen, my man. No. How in the hell does that happen to me every single time, Terry?
Yeah, I know. I don't understand it.
I make a mistake and look what happens.
Yep.
And it shouldn't be a mistake because I had him in there as my second horse. Terry, that's 6 for 6.
Oh boy. So it came what, 3, 5, 7 or?
I went 3, I think 3, and then it does look like the 5 horse came in second, and then the 7. So I don't know, Terry. This stuff really frustrates the hell out of me because I should have had that 3 horse in there. My second pick in race number 2 just made a typographical error over here with the 257. I don't know why it always works out like that for me, but it does. Unbleeping believable.
Yep.
Yeah, not only one, but Ron. What did I tell you? I told you. I told everybody.
You did.
Go to your mortgage broker, take out every dollar you have, throw it on the 3. It is an easy winner, right?
Yeah, and he went off at 7-2 too. That's pretty good odds.
Did he go off at 7-2 or did he go off at 5-2? It looked like at 5-2 on the TV
really?
screen. Yeah.
Okay.
Bet down from 10-1. Just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right. 5-2.
I think, Terry, if it wins, I should get half credit on the pick 5.
You should, yeah. I would have allowed you to change it since you made a mistake because that race hadn't went off. But
yeah, but the first race was in the books already, so
yeah, it doesn't matter.
I can't change it, neither could the people. If you took the bet, you couldn't change it either. So
yeah.
I will just deal with the consequences of being a dumbass, Terry. That's the way it works. Race number 7 furlongs, claiming 7,500, purse of 21 grand, Mr. Terry. I haven't changed any other horses yet either today, folks. So race number 7 furlongs does favor early speed. 31% of the time they go wire to wire. Very strong inside to outside bias, Mr. Terry. So inside speed is what we're looking for in race number 7. If there's any inside speed, it will shock me because it sure looks like Mink's. Yes, go ahead. Mink's hips don't lie is the one that's going to be on the lead.
Yeah, that's right. Got all kinds of speed. No other speed really in this race. And then the 2 has got an overlay. It's supposed to be 7-2, and it's listed 6-1. The 7 has a small overlay, 2-1, and it's listed at 7-2. The 5, 8, and 7 have the best C-zone numbers.
Yes, indeed. Our way to the winner circle worksheet as I continue to SMH. Shake my head. You see here, look at the 2 and the 8, Terry. You got a pilot and a co-pilot. Everybody else wants to be in the back and coach. Get those 2 and those 8 out front, especially what we've seen today, speed holding up. If either one of those 2 gets up to the lead, they might not give it up. Sure looks like Meek's Hips Don't Lie is the one with the 8-point advantage. That's going to be where it wants to be on the track. The 2 horse could be there, although we got a guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Left arrow horse might be one that gets involved early on too. If he does have some late speed to go along with it. Although Classy Union and Secret Thunder, that duo, 7 points better than anybody else down the stretch. Although that doesn't look like it's so helpful so far through 2 today. We got a guy. Yeah, that guy right there. He's the one that's got the best total pace, but got a lot of company from the 7, the 8, and the 9. So 6, 7, 8, and 9, the 4 outside horses could produce your winner, Terry. We have 3 of them, not all 4.
Yep, I like the 8. Min's Hips Don't Lie, or Minks. He tried turf. Doesn't matter. But anyway, he didn't like the turf last time, but we're off the turf. He can improve while returning to the dirt, has a high percentage winning jockey, and has a trainer who wins 27% of the races that he has an entry in the claiming races. Number 9, Secret Thunder, is my second choice. Ran second in his last race and has a high percentage winning jockey who in the last 7 days has won 3 out of 9 starts. 7, Classy Union, my third choice, ran second in his last race, has a high percentage winning jockey, Sophie
Sophia
Fives.
Vivas.
Sophia
Yeah.
Fives, yes.
Mhm.
Alonzo Mosley, the 2 is my long shot, switches to high percentage winning jockey, has the highest last speed rating. And I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to single this 8. Then I'm going to go with the 135, then with the 816, and then with the 158.
And as for me, Terry, in this race, I'm going to go with Make Sips Don't Lie. Does have that strong early pace advantage. The top C-zone score as well. Has run well on an off track too, 4 times out. 2 wins in a second. This is in 4 races. And this is the lowest level of its career, notwithstanding a maiden claiming win. Secret Thunder, the 9 horse, just missed at this level last out with 6 furlong final time. It was almost a second faster than its previous 6 furlong race time. Extra furlong here today should be beneficial. Number 2, Alonzo Mosley does own the top last race speed figure, dropping in class. And at times, Terry, to go with that top last race speed figure, has some really good late speed. Finally, Classy Union, similar fractions at 7 furlongs the last time out, relative to 6.5 furlongs. So if you run longer, but you're running at the same speed, you're actually running faster. And I'm out of money, and I'm out of luck, and I'm out of hope because I didn't play the 3 horse and it won in race number 2. So you know what that means? It means you better play this pick 3 at the back end because it's almost about a lock to win as the 3 horse was. 241, 247, the 1478. You know it's coming home now, Terry.
Yeah,
you know
I
it.
do. Yeah,
Yes, it's an absolute rule of the universe.
that's right. So anyway, well, Christopher likes in this race the 5 to win. Then he likes a try box with the 758. And anyway, and then Charles B says, I don't know, I guess something captain.
Captain, aye, Captain.
Aye, Captain. Okay.
Yes, he's throwing me some shade, as the kids say, Terry. All right, well, I appreciate that. Race 7 at Hawthorne on Sunday paid well. Rich, hope you got it. I posted my picks in the chat, but they deleted them after the stream. Really, they don't. The chat is a little bit different than the YouTube. I don't know why that is. You can see them if you go back and watch the race again. It's usually there, but I don't delete them. We don't have any. We don't have any ability to delete them because we've gotten some like funky comments in there that people have asked us to delete. I can't go back and change them. I try to look to see, and no power whatsoever at all.
Mm-hmm.
Race 8 again, 7 furlongs, Mr. Charles. And this
Terry.
one's going to Terry, Mr. Charles. Yes. Charles is tomorrow when we do
That's
Horse for
right.
Indianapolis. And of course, Charles always joining us in the comments. We mentioned early speed, 30%, 31% wire to wire, strong inside, outside bias. Captain Chaz, if it has some speed, could take advantage of that bias. Captain Chaz has a lot of early pace and a long, strong C-zone too.
Yes, and the benefit of the rail, which is really nice. The 8 has a really nice large overlays. It's supposed to be like, I don't know, what, 4 to 5 or something like that. And he's 9 to 2 listed on the morning line. And then as far as the C-zones, well, 5, 1, 6, and 4 have pretty decent C-zone numbers.
As far as our race pace shape in race number 8, pretty balanced race in here, though. Half the field wants to be forwardly placed, half the field wants to be towards the back. This should really be a sort of jockey race unless somebody has a tactical advantage over everybody else. Speed of the speed, maybe. Captain Chaz showing out 10 points better than My Devil's Child. So that one could get a nice early lead, just like we saw with the 3 horse. And if it can hold on, should have an opportunity to fend everybody off despite the sore late legs there in some other races. Social Group, the 8 horse, the other front runner in there, does score out with the most late speed. So maybe going to play the role today of a co-pilot pressure type. It's not really been its favorite running style, but the total pace figure does say it should be there with My Devil's Child, Mock Trial, indirectly. Pretty competitive racing here again, though, Terry, but it does look like the top 4 or 5 with a little bit of advantage over everybody else. Who has the advantage in your view?
I like Captain Chaz, the number 1 horse. He finished 3rd in his last race, and this rail post is winning 21% clip. He has switched to a high percentage winning trainer, and if the speed holds out like it's done so far, he should do all right. Number 5, my second choice, my Devil's Child, finished in the money in his last 4 races. He won one of those, finishing second versus similar in his last race. And then Super Flyover, 3 is my third pick. He likes the track finishing in the money, 46% of the starts, winning 25% of those starts, and likes the distance, finishing the money 53% of the time, winning 33% of the races. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then the 8 is my long shot Social Group. He won his last race at Parx Racing and earned the highest last race speed rating. I'm not going to make any bets in this race.
Yeah, if you're new to us again, please kindly hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when we go live. You can also keep up with a lot of great stuff that we do on our social media sites at Horse Race, the number 2 day, Horse Race Today. Thumbs up on Facebook and YouTube are greatly appreciated. Helps us with the YouTube and Google algorithms as well as Facebook too. So when people search, we'll be a little bit higher up in the rankings. It's an easy way, click, to help support the show and the work that Terry, Charles, myself, Julie, Sean, and Jamie and others do around here. Thomas as well, when we do all the Foreign Friday stuff. And that Royal Ascot, where we had some really nice winners in that one. Looking forward to the Goodwood series of races. Number 1, Captain Chaz at Parx, though, in race number 8, does have that 10-point early speed advantage on that 21% winning rail. Going to make the third start after a layoff. Social Group is the sim favorite, as we saw with Terry running through the numbers. Up in class, a little bit of a concern, off a wire-to-wire win, although the horse did finish second by just a length and a half last time he ran at this level. Mock trial of 4 horse closed at this level last out with better late times at 6.5 furlongs and better early pace numbers. So a little bit better fractions at the end, a little bit faster pace numbers in the front. Marry the two, and mock trial could be one that you have to contend with in here today. Super Flyover was a tough call over my Devil's Child, but does have a little bit better Parx numbers, has a little bit better numbers at the distance, and has a little bit better numbers in an off track, and going to catch a weight break today with Sofia Vivas. I'm all out of money and out of hope because I can't put a 3 when a 5 belongs there. The other way around. Race number 9, the last 2 races on the card here, Mr. Terry, for today at Parx. Hold on a second. Race number 8. You like the 5 to win, 3-5 exact the box for the closer. It should be Christopher Closer in quotes, D'Souza, because I think that fits you, because you love them closing horses. In the 9th race today at Parx, I think this was supposed to be a 5 furlong turf race. It's off the turf. It's going to be on the dirt, on the mud. Should favor front runners in here, Terry. And as far as early speed is concerned, in race number 9 with a ton of scratches, a lot of the speed getting nixed out of this race. Everybody left, it looks like, has a slight chance. Well, everybody left has some chance to be on the lead because all the speed is gone to the sidelines. So who do you think might get the front?
Yeah, it looks like the 7 might Buffalo Shuffle, but really there's no speed except for that 7. And so you don't know who's really going to get it. And then the overlay, the only one I see there is 16, number 16, Steely Danza. It's supposed to be 5-2 and is listed at 9-2 in the morning line. All of them but the one. I'm sorry. All of them have real good season numbers. So.
Yeah, everybody. This should be a competitive race in here. JT Brew, our in-house turf expert, says back to turf today at Indianapolis, Horseshoe Indianapolis, otherwise better known as Indiana Grand. I think that name is better anyway, a lot easier to spell. Race number 5, the 3 horse, Little Miss Liblet, first time starter. Race number 7 to 13, La Village Lumiere. I like to look at the race shape to give us a sense of what the early speed might look like. And here with all those horses scratched out now, Terry, it's the benefit of doing this thing, having a little bit of redundancy, latency, as they call it in the technology world. As far as the early speed is concerned, the 2, the 5, and the 15, they could be lead dependent. 16 is your co-pilot. Won't mind where it's running as long as it's not that far off the pace. You got a lone pressure type in the 1, a couple versatile horses with the 7 and the 10, and a closer with the 9. The 7, Buffalo Shuffle, the PC type, might be your front runner. Could let some others, but both the PCs are heading up there. The 5 and the 16, very competitive race early on, Terry. I hope they don't run too fast. Late speed, again, pretty competitive in here. The 1 with a big advantage over everybody else, that 16 horse, should be forwardly placed. EP type, strong late legs, should be a combination that adds up to a very strong chance to win. And then our total pace number says he's 9 points better than the next horse up. 16 should get a great trip, Terry. Should fit its running style nicely and fits into both of our top spots.
That's right. 16 Steely Danza is my top choice. He's my pick of the day. He won his last race at Parx Racing, and he earned the highest last speed rating, has a high percentage winning jockey. Partridge Artie, number 8. He ran second versus similar in his last race, has a good 4 furlong workout. He's my second choice. And then the 5, Keith Sens Shell or something like that.
Keith Sens Hello.
Oh, hello. Yeah, there we go. Hello. He may improve in his second start since his layoff. Lasix is added today and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Buffalo Shuffle at 7 is my long shot, has an early foot, so he may improve at this shorter distance. He has a bullet workout on June 21st. I'm going to bet $10 to win on the 16.
Race number 9. Christopher is going to go with the 5 and the 7 exact box. You did a hello like there for an echo. Funny. I took my kids. We're out in Las Vegas. My son was in a soccer tournament out there. And we went to, there's some state park out there called like the Red Mountains or something, Red Canyon. So we went and we're walking around in there and they told us like, we're going to find like goats and stuff, wild goats with like the rams with like the, with the curly horns. We didn't see anything. And just some salamanders and some snakes and stuff. But so we're standing in this big valley, we're on one edge and it goes way back down in the cavern and come back up. And I'm like, watch this echo, kids. And I yell, hello. And nothing happens. And they both look at me like, man, you're such a liar. About 10 seconds later, hello, bounced off the other wall. I was so thankful that it came back. I'm like, I'm going to look like a fool.
I got to make a change. It was not 10 to win on the 16, but 20 to win on the 16.
Okay, that's what you have on there. You get to change that. The race hasn't gone off yet.
No, I've already changed it.
So Steely Danza is also my top pick, Terry, in here. Total pace edge of 9 points is the lone early pace EP type horse in there too. 3 consecutive speed figure increases that culminated in the top last race speed figure. Again, Barry Meadows' book, The Skeptical Handicapper. If you're a data guy like me, tons and tons and tons of back testing of data research, tons of alpha angles, really worth the read. Number 7, Buffalo Shuffle. Last race showed early spark again with fast fractions early on and a bold mid move. There's a bullet workout since the last race, as you mentioned, Terry. That says to me it's going to be fast today too. Could get back to that wire-to-wire Buffalo Shuffle horse that you see in the back class. Keith Sens Hello has some early speed in back class as well. Catching first-time Lasix in here, Terry. I think it could be a difference maker if he can go back to that early pace in the back. And then 3 Pete's, we'll take a shot here with a class dropper that has a win and a third and 2 on and off track and a little bit of late speed to go with that one in there, Terry. And then finally, race number 10 is where we're going to close the show today. A disappointing show for me already, Terry, not because of the quality, but because of my error in race number 2. But we won't make any mistakes in race number 10 because I don't have any bets. It's going to be 7 furlongs, claiming 7,500, 9 winners of 4 lifetime. The purse is 23 grand. 7 furlongs again, early speed, 31% go wire to wire. Very strong inside to outside bias. So Saparana, the 3 horse, with all that early speed, but everybody else minus skillful with a shot to get to the lead, should be a really heated one up front.
All right. Yeah, I see there that the 3 should get out there and get to that quarter pole first. And then the overlay is the 5, small overlay, 3 to 1, listed at 9 to 2 in the morning line. All of these, but the 1 have pretty decent C-zone numbers.
And then for the final time today, how can these horses play out according to their past running styles? Well, you see everybody in this race wants to be middle or back. One horse in here getting a little bit of a lone, doesn't look like the other. The 9 horse, the lone PC type in here, although his pace numbers over here say he might not be the best fit. Get to the front here, run some decent fractions. Early speed could be the difference maker. Looks like Saparana, that 3 horse, the closer, does have the most early speed, a little bit of an advantage over We Ready. So a pair of left arrow horses something that we've founded here. Late speed belongs to the 6 horse, Mr. Briggs. We ready? The 5 horse, another one that was a left arrow horse. So maybe we ready with that early speed advantage, the left arrow horse, late speed in par with the strongest legs. The 2 horses, the 5 and the 3, the 2 left arrow horses scoring 6 points better than the next group. Wouldn't it be at all surprised to see the 5 or the 3 as left arrow horses take this race, Terry? Who do you think is going to take the final race?
I like that 5. We ready. Finished third versus similar in his last race, has the highest last speed rating, and switches to high percentage winning jockey. Number 1, Current Hope, has finished in the money in 4 out of 7 starts at Parx Racing, and the rail post is winning 21% clip. Number 8, Skillful. He has won 3 out of the last 5 races at Parx Racing, winning the last one easily, and has a high percentage winning jockey. Is my third pick. Dang Nabbit. The 7 is my long shot, drops in class today, and he should improve while returning to the dirt. I have no bet here, and I need to make a change in the race before, and we can talk about that later if you want.
All right, so we'll talk about quickly my picks for the last race. We ready? Top last race speed figure missing by 1.5 lengths at this level in the last race. Saparina might not look like it on paper, but this one's likely to be on the front with the top total pace. Could be a difficult combination for the rest of these horses to overcome. Mr. Briggs, the 6 horse, really consistent performer in here, Terry. Going to catch a weight break today and was noticeably better early on in its last effort. Finally, Dag Nabbit, the 7 horse. Let's go with Big Boopa's angle. I'll give credit where credit is due. Charles pointed this out before. He likes horses that flash speed for the first time last out at a mile, right? So if you look in the past performances, we'll pull it up so you can see that. So we won't just talk about it. We'll show it. The 7 horses you can see on here, a lot of times in the past, really didn't show a lot of speed, right? Boom, 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 boom. It was pretty much a horse that wanted to come from off the pace, right? Bang, bang, bang. A little bit of a maybe pressure type here. Last time out, the horse says, you know what? Screw that. I almost swore there, Terry. That would have been bad. He went out and showed some early speed, right? Decided, I'm going to go to the front this time. That was at a mile, cutting back to 7 furlongs today. That's a Big Boopa angle right there, folks. So I'm going to give Big Boopa his credit. I'm going to go ahead and play the Big Boopa, Charles's angle, put the 7 in there, Dag Nabbit as my long shot. That picks up all of our picks for today, Terry. Our full cards look like this.
Yeah, and I made a change in that 9th race. The 8 horse was scratched, so I actually added the 6 in there. So
to the back end?
Yeah.
Right,
well, actually, yeah, I think that was where I put it.
Race 10, Christopher D'Souza going to go with the 6-3 exacta box. And Terry, you'll never guess why he likes the 6.
I don't know why.
He's a closer.
Oh, that's right. He likes those closers, don't he?
Christopher loves those closers. You know what else I like, Terry? Free picks. I like free stuff. And today's free track is Thistle Downs. Oh, sloppy over there today. Just give you a heads up. As you can see, maybe it's on here or not. I don't know if it's on here, but it's not. But in the last 14 days, the average day of payout at Thistle Downs, a guaranteed tip sheet, potential winnings of $3,809. That's not bad. Yesterday at Baroje Park, the total payouts, potential payouts, were a little bit more than $1,100. So make sure you go over there with the link down in the description below, and then check out Thistle Downs free picks today. Make sure you use the links here on the description or at Facebook, YouTube, horseracingtoday.net, which is our website. We'll be posting all of today's comments and picks over there momentarily. While you're there, kindly hit, you'll see while you're here, this is yesterday's, kindly hit, so we put the notes up in there and everything from every single day, but kindly hit the HRT gear, get yourself a Horse Racing Today shirt. I have the brown 13 on, Terry, with the red number 1. You'll look fantastic at the track. You'll help support what we do, and we appreciate all those who bought something already. Any final thoughts, Terry, before we get out of here on this not so terrific, Terry, trifecta Tuesday?
Yeah, I just wish that you could have put that 3 in there. I feel sorry for you. But anyway, my final thoughts is I hope everybody has a great day and a great rest of the week. I'm looking forward to next week when I'm going to be the pilot. I've been the co-pilot most of the time, so that'll be fun. And just let everybody know how you feel about them, that you love them, that because you never know what's going to happen day to day.
Yes. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for Charles and I. We'll start about 10 minutes before the first post at Horseshoe, Indianapolis. You're going to want to pay special attention to whatever horse I switch or make a mistake on, because that one's going to go a clean 7 for 7 into the winner's circle, folks, for sure. But Charles and I will be back to do that tomorrow. Again, tonight, join myself and Julie, a fantastic guest, again at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't done so already, hit the like buttons, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when we're going live. Most of all, folks, we certainly hope that today you do get God's grace, God's favor, and no matter what it is that you're doing for the rest of this day, Terry, just like the 3-horse in the second race, we hope everything you do ends up in the
winner circle.
Indeed. Again, thanks for joining us, folks. Have a wonderful, terrific Terry Tuesday. Got to press the right button now.